I am glad that they are actually pointing out the one thing I actually talked about. Isn't this the exact same thing that Osmond did to them? Although I will never blame Osmond for all this, I legitimately believe that what he was hiding was for the better care cause. And also, I don't believe Salem is unbeatable, but I don't believe that you can be defeated by any normal means. So something tells me that holding this secret is only gonna endanger them all more. But yeah, this is the RWBY episode 3 of volume 7 from me, the Angry Anime Fan. Basically, this is all just a mission to show us the ace operatives. I mean, we, we hear their name, but I don't really memorize them because for me they're not that important. And and also Team RWBY and Team Uniper now switch back into their gear, but they also, for some strange reason, all now have what is that word? Haircuts as well. I don't know how they found their time to do haircuts, but hey, they left their what is that word? They left their weapons to be upgraded, and voila, it all guess it all worked out fine, didn't it? So I guess they had time to do some things like there. Pietro mentions that he actually had made some modifications of it all. This episode also has a ship tease scene with Blake and Yang complimenting her hair. To be honest, I still am not for that ship. I was more for Sun and Blake, only because I felt like that one was more developed. But in the end, I guess it was not meant to be a ship. I meant maybe it was just meant to be a friendship. Or maybe that is meant to represent something that can happen. I don't really know. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty bad that Sun in the end did not get with um, with Blake, because this is just getting more and more revealing that yeah, those Blake and Yang have feelings for each other. Well, regardless, that is not important right now. We are all introduced to also the Ace Operative semblance, also all the not exactly the name, but it turns out Crow also finds someone in here. Someone I only hope he will have as a friend and perhaps a teammate in the future, if none of the Ace Operatives are a traitor. And it's actually the leader of the Ace Operatives. He is revealed to have good fortune, the perfect contrast to uh, Crow's misfortune, meaning that their abilities cancel each other's out, and therefore Crow may not even have to worry about, well, endangering someone else, because, well, after all, he is now with someone who brings him good fortune. The scene when he makes that scenario is a very unexpected scenario for me, but I hope it's maybe it's just him realizing there can be some teammate for him as well. After all, he hasn't been on a team since in his beacon days. Although the bigger question is, though, is the Ace Operative leader really on the good side? Well, we don't see. The funny thing here is the fact that all the Ace Operatives calls Team RWBY and the gang, well, except Crow, kids. If you ask me, the Ace Operatives do not look that old either. But I guess from this they are meant to say that they are older than the cast, but we don't really know how old. Are they really in their 30s? I mean, the Ace Operative leader, he may look closest to Crow's age, and Crow may be over 40, 50, something like that. But when it comes to the rest of them, I don't really know. They are chasing a ghastly ghoul that is old and has inhabited the mine area. Mine area. In that mine area, they need to have the launch site. With new upgrades, new abilities, they manage to break through it all and have a good time. But when they confront the beast, of course, the ones who deeply shine here is just the Ace Operatives, showing immense teamwork and strong skills. It's worth noting that they call them Ironwood someone they trusted with their lives, so I guess in the end this is the reason why they are aces. They really do trust each other. A theme of it all. Also, an offhand comments come from one of the ace operatives saying that RWBY's semblance is not what she seems to suspect it to be. She has always said that it's some kind of, well, you know, super speed. But from her opinion, it seems to be something more than just super speed. Is that implying that Ruby's semblance can evolve, or is it saying that maybe there's a mystical power in it that we do not yet know? Well, we won't know there. They succeed with the mission, although not without some danger of it all. Also, we do see some scenes of, Team Juniper. Here's worth noting that Ren is giving slightly a cold shoulder to Nora. She compliments his outfit and all he says, let's just focus on the mission. Granted, however, he didn't have a serious expression when he did that. Not his most serious expression. But I do hope there's nothing bad going on there. But yeah, they were on a very deadly mission, so maybe he was just getting into his serious mode. Nora is, after all, one of the most casual players in the gang. I mean, Ruby is not so casual anymore, she has become very serious. But the episode ends with Tyrion killing the same guy, Heckler, on the police car last episode, meaning that whatever he's doing, he's probably hunting the happy huntresses for some reason. He says he's wanting to stir up in Mistral. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, the story is still not kicking in immensely, but this episode did have some nice action sequence. Some nice new introduction to the characters, even though I don't really know their names so much. But most immensely of it all is the fact that Oscar is pointing out to Ruby that what isn't hiding the truth from Ironwood Descent that Osmond did to them, and Ruby could not answer this. In fact, all of the other team members are wondering, is this really a good idea? Some argue that it should be, while others say not be. It's really the question of what is the right choice. In my book, hiding the truth right now is not a good choice. But again, Ironwood has grown paranoid, dangerous, and if he hears that the fight is seemingly hopeless, one cannot even think what he will do. So I guess we'll see what will happen. It's basically this episode. Short and sweet, nothing really more. So give me your thoughts if you have any.